Johnny in Lamarck, Texas. Hey, Johnny, thanks for watching us on Free Speech TV. What's on your mind today?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Scott. By the way, I do not believe that any Democratic politician should resign right now in light of the scare tactics that are being put forth by the far right. It's their opportunity to get by on us and get more political power. My question for your guest is, when I drive north on I-45 towards Houston, and I pass this mega-sized church with a 30-foot tall cross and the parking lot full of late-year model, expensive-looking automobiles, the hairs on the back of my neck go up, as opposed to when I drive by a small, humble white wood frame church populated by black folk. I feel totally relaxed. I'd like him to reconcile that for me, please.
I completely understand that.
Thank you.
And I think that one of the issues that's discussed in the play, and it particularly comes from the viewpoint of Jefferson and Tolstoy, is the charting of how, over a period of time, religions have become more interested in consolidating power for themselves over comforting the people who come to the church or teaching or following the teachings of Jesus. It's interesting now that how loyal the evangelicals have been to Trump, and he seems to be this person who is popular with them, not because he embodies any teachings of Jesus or even is familiar with them, but because he's defending them as a tribe. And that seems to be all that they care about.
Yeah. To what extent do you think that tribal identity within the mega churches and I don't know quite the phrase for it, the conservative Christian community maybe? To what extent do you think that relationship is largely exploitive? And if so, in which direction is the exploitation happening?
I think it's highly exploitive. I think that for way too many people, the name of Christ has become a brand, a cudgel by which to beat your enemies. That it's something by which I can claim to be superior or claim to have a divine backing of whatever my political ideas are, but I don't think that's Jesus. It's interesting to me that Jesus, who was so universal in his approach, who put up so few barriers to approaching him, that he would now be seen as a figure whose name is largely put out there to exclude others.
Yeah, it's fascinating. When I was a late teenager, I was in New York City, and I went into St. Patrick's, the big cathedral.
On Fifth,
yeah, on
Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. And there was a mass going on, and I'd never been in a Catholic church in my life at that point. And people were going up to take the wafer, take communion, which I had done growing up in the Methodist church. And so I thought, what the heck? And I got in line, and I got up to the front of the line, and the guy looked at me, and I didn't do the right thing, obviously. And he said, "You're not Catholic, are you?" And I said, "No." And he says, "I can't give this to you." And I literally burst into tears. I mean, it doesn't happen to me often. I wasn't like sobbing out loud, but I mean, tears were coming down my face as I turned around and walked out of that church. It was devastating.
I've had the same experience at weddings of my friends and relations in Catholic churches, where communion was being served at the end of the ceremony and I was being excluded.
Amazing, amazing. We'll be right back.